Welcome. We're here for another episode of Harness the News Live. I'm Trey Colbeck. Finally get to meet the guy, Ace, the living legend himself. It's North America Cup time. We've got tons of things to talk about. We're going to go through all the stake races going on today and the big 13 race card here at Mohawk. That's where we are, here live at Mohawk. If you want to see the crazy guy in a cowboy hat and the guy with the long hair, we'll always say hi to the fans, right? How you doing?
Well, I'm always good when I'm at Mohawk Park. It's like a second home, has been since I was a kid. And, it's NA Cup night. We got a good crowd. We can pretend like it's the 80s for a moment. And, it's going to be a great night of action. Probably one of the widest, the most wide open NA Cups I've seen in years, as I mentioned in the Harnessling Insider a few weeks ago, if you're subscribed to that. But, how are you doing?
I'm great. This is technically, I guess, my second time here. First time was on Thursday night. Hopefully I make a little bit more money tonight than I did on Thursday, but that's okay. Well, that's what you do at racetracks, right? You got to spend a little to make a little, right? So
that's the plan.
But real quick, we'll just go through some other news before we hit the main event. We had Jiggy Jog won an impressive mile in the Graduate Series at the Meadowlands last night. She went 150-3, but came home in 26-3. Pretty impressive there. Stonebridge Helios. Hailing right from here in Ontario, your homebred, was similar eye-catching in the division for Pacers. He dropped his lifetime mark as he completed his mile 147 flat. You think we're going to see some times like that tonight?
We can only hope. That would be really cool.
Winning by lengths and 3/4 over Dream Fair Arnie B. Dexter Dunn, who's actually going to probably just be behind us momentarily, warming up some horses, getting ready to go, drove him too. And the 4-year-old stallion now looks like a major contender with the win after that. And finally, Kierkegaard tied the Kierkegaard. There we go. Tied the trotting track record at Vernon Downs as he won the 97,000 second division for the Empire Breeders Classic. Second division, one with the first division did. Classic yesterday, he won in 150-3, which tied an all-age track record previously set by Alana.
Good company
to be in for sure. Other winners were Royal Family, Killmeister, and Sadie Hanover. Now we're going to take a look at the main event. So thank you to everyone who's joining us here. We're going to look at the stake races in particular. We got a big card, opens up with a pretty solid preferred going for 40,000. I'm going to have to take the Western horse, of course, codename Cigar Box, which we won't get too much into that one. But we get
shot.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll have to get into the stake races first. The one at race 5, the Ambro Flight Final, 3-year-old and older fillies and mares, going for a purse of 210,000. Ace, who do you like in this one? Do you like anybody specific?
Well, I mean, Bella Bellini's really rounding into the form that saw her win Trotter of the Year last year. Won with broken equipment last time. Pretty big win. Came home in 26-3. She was really impressive in there. Didn't start the season perfectly, but really she's getting into it. I would hope for a good performance from Warwi Xenia, local girl. We've been cheering for her here in Mohawk, but Bella Bellini is a tough nut to crack. We also have HP Mama being here, nominated for an O'Brien Award last season. She's a top quality mare too, but again, Bella Bellini in top form is going to be nigh on impossible for any of these mares to beat. But Trey, why don't you run us through the field real quick and then give us your thoughts?
Sorry about that. Yeah. So we're going to start from the inside. There's the graphic. We got Refined from the inside. The 2 disclosure sounds like is scratch, so keep that in mind. The 3 is Raised by Lindy. 4 is Warwi Xenia. 5 is Bella Bellini. 6 is Adair Castle. 7, Call Me Danny. 8, HP Mama B. 9, Swan's Eye. And the 10, Mischievous Rose. And like Ace said, he's looking at, it's hard to go against Bella Bellini. I kind of like Adair Castle, has some big wins there, 152 and 1 last time out. Has been competing really good, especially in that Graduate Series earlier in the year. Just came off a big win in the versatility and stuff like that. I also like Raised by Lindy. that's my third place choice after Bella and Castle there. Again, a couple big wins. The times. That's the big thing to me is the times here. You got to like horse can have 7 wins, but are you rattling them off in 155 or in 150, right? That's kind of the difference. And but all these horses seem to have pretty impressive times.
Yeah, and this is a really good field. I mean, if Bella Bellini was not in this field, it would be very wide open. I mean, yeah, you had Refine going 51-1 in her elimination, raced by Lindy in 51-1, beating Refined in that elimination. And you know all of these trotting mares are high quality. Like there's very few unknowns in this field.
No, so exactly. Yeah, it's sorry, I just lost my thought, but I was going to say, not working at Harness Link, I actually know all these names. Usually I don't know. It's hard to know all the names when you're just from small town Winnipeg and this big time track out here. But all these names have some pretty reputable races under their belt.
Well, welcome to the big time.
I know.
All right, let's turn the page over to the that's the NA Cup constellation. We'll turn one more page to look at the $250,000 Good Times final. Why don't we go through the field? I think I'll take a turn this time.
Yeah, you can do it.
And take a look at the Good Times, although I don't see the graphic here. I think I didn't add the graphic. So anyways, we'll take a look at the field. The one is Southwind Course, driven by Scott Zeron. Second in his elimination by a neck. Gaines Hanover was the winner in that one, driven by Louis-Philippe Roy for trainer Richard Moreau. That's our local bid. We're hoping to get at least one stakes win on the card tonight for the home track. Gimon is the 3, driven by Bob McClure. Finished 5th in the elimination, snuck into the final. Was a condition horse last season, but has some good miles under his belt. Warwi Yang is the 4, won 3 in a row, including his elimination in 153-3. Scott Young, local driver, recently made the jump over to Woodbine Mohawk. Not so recently, last few years, but he's an up-and-coming driver, so he's got a shot with a strong contender in this Good Times final. Hasty Bid is the 5, driven by our leading driver, James McDonald. Second in his elimination for trainer Paige Austin. That's a partnership duo, by the way, Paige Austin and James McDonald. So would be a really cool story for them to win the Good Times with this one. Tuscan Prince, local star, OSS Gold winner 2 weeks back, on May 29th. Yannick Gingras driving this one for Luc Blais and Determination. One an Angel is the 7, driven by Trevor Henry, TH to the top, if you know his Twitter handle. Third in the elimination in 54-1. Then Ghostly Casper, driven by Sylvain Filion and trained by Benoit Baillargeon in the 8-hole. Tough road in the elimination, but with a bit of a better trip, could work out. And the 9 Challenger is scratched, so Dexter Dunn will not be featuring in every Grand Circuit event today. Dahlquist Hanover is the 10, driven by Mark McDonald. He used to be a regular here, since then moved to the United States. 5th in the elimination and draws tough with the 10. But there's the field. Trey, your thoughts?
I think it's really hard to go against the 2, right? Gaines Hanover coming in with that 152-1 win, 7-5 morning line odds. Really hard to go against that. If you are looking for maybe a little bit of a price, wonder if Tuscan Prince, I wonder how much, some of these favorites might get a little heavily bet. You do have sometimes more casual fans doing that, but you also have the big wigs like your dad here who are a little bit smarter than that and might place their money elsewhere. But I kind of like Tuscan Prince to maybe challenge Gaines Hanover for that. And for third, I like the rail. I know the rail isn't always the best here, but I think Southwind Course can get it done maybe there. What do you think?
Well, yeah, my dad, Garnet Barnesville, isn't actually, he isn't riding tonight. That's all on me. So, yeah, the pools will be a little bit inflated. He may help us get a new record for NA Cup night. But, yeah, I mean, I like Gaines Hanover. And, again, of course, I hope he wins as the local Ontario connections. Louis-Philippe Roy and Richard Moreau and Gestion J.Y. Blais doesn't get much more Canadian than that combination. Southwind Course also looks good. 53 in a condition race back on May 25th and 2nd in the elimination. Raced good there, came on late, 27 final quarter for Southwind Course. Could be a contender again. Yeah, the rail is a big disadvantage, but, getting Scotty Z in the bike, of course, you can't upgrade from James McDonald. That's just how it is nowadays. But Scotty Z, also a very good driver, of course. I like that one for second. And I'll go with Tuscan Prince. Very sharp right now at 53 in his gold win and was beaten in the elim. But again, you don't always see the true reflection of the horse in the elimination. So we do have a comment here. Steve Wolf says Vukafalis all the way. We'll get to that in a minute, Steve. But we know you're a big fan. And, of course, Harness Link has been covering Vukafalis. So But those are my two. I'll say Gaines Hanover and Southwind Cores and Tuscan Prince. I'll go for the local trifecta.
Awesome.
Triactor, actually.
Triactor, yeah, Triactor here. Turn the page. This time, Mohawk Gold Cup Invitational, 100,000 on the line here. 10 to go to post. No scratches in this one. Last time I checked, starting from the rail, here is our field. We got Billy Clyde getting the rail. 2 Which Way to the Beach with Travis Cullen, local Manitoban. You got the 3 Nautical Hanover, Sylvian Filion. The 4 Line Drive Hanover with James McDonald. 5 A Bucket of Bet Hanover. The 6 Tattoo Artist with Dexter Dunn. 7 Wheels on Fire with McNair. 8 Captain Kirk. Wonder if they're referring to the Star Trek or the catcher of the Blue Jays. But either way, it's fine with Scott Zeron. And we got the 9 Allywag Hanover and 10 Poseidon Sealster. Big field of 10 here. This one I actually had a tough time with, but I did go with Line Drive Hanover. That 148-3 for a third place finish is really hard to go against. When he was last time out. But also, I did like Allywag Hanover is coming from the far outside, and again, just finished 4th behind him last time in 148-4. I got to get used to this because I'm too used to half-mile tracks where coming from the outside is a big disadvantage. Here, it's not the great slanted gate, wide open track. It's not as hard as it is on the half-mile tracks of Manitoba. But I think the 9 Allywag Hanover should do great. And on the round out my trifecta or triactor, whichever way you want to call it, we'll go with the 5, A Bucket of Bet Hanover. Again, had qualified its last time in 151 flat. Before that, a 148-3 finish in the open at Meadowlands, I believe, right? That's what the Big M. Big M. Again, I'm just used to Miami Fair. So I got to get Century Downs. All tracks out here, I got to get a little more used to. But what do you think about this one in the Gold Cup?
Well, this is a really good field. I mean, you have some really good older horses that have sustained the test of time, like Allywag Hanover and Tattoo Artist. Line Drive Hanover is interesting. If you'll remember, he won the Charles Juravinsky Memorial last year, and then he was out for the rest of the season, set a Canadian record in that race. Now coming back, has looked good. 3rd in the free-for-all in his first start last week, came home in 26-2. Like Trey said, that was a good mile for Line Drive Hanover, and making his comeback. I'd say he looks good. Not my top pick. I'm gonna go with Tattoo Artist here. Very good tightener last week. Gets Dexter Dunn, who in my opinion is the best driver in North America. Ian Moore, who's obviously, as we know, a big race trainer, and came home in 27-2 to win that condition race last week. Second by a nose in the Centennial Memorial. Again, 47-2, and that was his first start of the season. So very good horse. Proven time and time again, he hangs with these in the top level conditions. Was not the best in the Borgata series, but I think he's coming into form now. And if you get the 5-1 price they're quoting on the morning line, I think that's a good bet. Now, of course, A Bucket of Bet Hanover tangled, of course, has tangled with some high quality horses in the past. Andrew McCarthy, again, another good driver coming from down under. This is a really good field. I'll say that again, and it's hard to come up with a clear opinion on the top 2, 3, 4, even 5. Wheels on Fire, a local contender, hasn't been at the top of his game recently. Nautical Hanover actually beat him last week, winning, coming from 7th. But again, that's one to watch out for. I know my dad, Garnet Barnsdale, also a fellow harnessing contributor, is actually on Captain Kirk a little bit. Nautical Hanover was a beast last race, says Mike Janice. I agree. Storming home to win by a neck, 26-3 coming home, and 1 in 48-3. That's another top contender. An 8-1, I would say, is a good price. Coming up against Grand Circuit horses, maybe a little past their prime, but still very capable. But Nautical Hanover is a great shot as well. But I am still going to go with Tattoo Artist.
Love it there. We'll move on one more to race 9. Supposed to be field of 10. There is one scratch to report. The 7 Doug's Babe is out, but we'll look at the full field here in one moment. From the inside, there's I'm Off and Gone with Travis Cullen. We got the 2 Trenches Dragon, Dexter Dunn. 3 Amazing Dream. 4, Grace Hill with McNair. 5, So Much More with James McDonald. The 6, Silver Label, Todd McCarthy. 7, like I said, is Scratch. 8, G is Surreal. The 9, the Barn Dog is Watching. And the 10, Kobe's Gigi, which I forgot. This is the Roses Red final, of course. Race 9, going for just over $300,000. Why don't you kick us off in this one and who you like?
Well, I'd really like So Much More to win. That was Canada's older pacing mare of the year last year. She was 4th in her elimination, but she has been pretty impressive recently. She had a really big free-for-all win back in May against the boys. Won the Forest City Pace and was 4th in her elimination. I can't say that is necessarily indicative of her form right now. She's a very strong mare, but it is hard to pick against Treacherous Dragon. First win of the year last time, but she's been second in every other start. Again, gets Dexter done. 2-hole is also not the best in Mohawk. It is a bit lower percentage than, say, the 6th and the 5. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Treacherous Dragon. Don't mean to eat a lot of chalk here, but that last mile was good, and she looks to be getting back into her best form right now. I'm going to go with So Much More for second. Could add some value to the exotics. 5-1 on the morning line. I would say she'd probably be a bit higher than that. Despite being at the local track, I think people do have that Grand Circuit bias, and you see mostly free-for-alls and preferreds on her card. So I'm going to go So Much More as my second pick. And third, I'm going to go with Grace Hill. She's unbeaten this year. Very strong horse. She is coming up against probably the best she's faced so far, coming over from Scioto. But she proved herself last week, coming home at 26-4 to win her elimination. So I'm going with Treacherous Dragon, So Much More. And Grace Hill. Trey, man with the cowboy hat, take it away.
I agree with you with the 2 Trenches Dragon there, but we're a little bit different for a second. I'm going to go with the 6 Silver Label. Last time at 149 flat in the second place effort in the elimination. Before that, a Phillies and Mare Preferred, 151.
No, go ahead. I was just blocking the mic out.
I thought you were telling me to shut up, but that's okay. Lively bunch here. What else do you expect on a great day here at Mohawk?
Passion, a lot of passion.
You know, they say the sport is dying. It doesn't sound like it today. Silver Label for second. Love what she's been doing. For third, I'm going to go with Grace Hill. Like you said, has a nice little tear here. Really hard to think that horse might lose. You know, coming to a different track now. Did have a race here with the elimination, getting the win. Let's see if she can continue. I do like So Much More, though, if I had to pick a fourth. Down here, if you see, that's my little notes for my pick 5. So I do have her in the pick 5. I just don't have her in my pick 3 going forward. But
good. You can stay in Ontario now. All right.
I haven't been kicked out yet. Not yet. You want to go through race 10 for the folks here?
Let's move over to the Fan Hanover, one of the biggest races for 3-year-old pacing fillies of the year. We're going to start from the rail with Lions Better Day, Louis-Philippe Bois for trainer Tony Beaton. He's got a few good Grand Circuit horses in here, a local trainer. You Can Do It Blue Chip is the 2 with Yannick Gingras, trainer Linda Toscano, 4th in the elimination. Then we go back to Twin B, Joe Fresh, driven by Dexter Dunn, 9-5 on the morning line, coming off a 3/4 length win in the elimination in 149. Then Zanata, she's had a good season so far, 3rd in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes, but she's only starting up. Came home in 26-4 last week from the pocket, but still not good enough to win the race. Sorry about that. Sylvia Hanover, the local star, number 5 for Bob McLaren trainer Sean Stacy, came home in 26-3 last week. She's looking solid right now, and she's your 6-5 morning line favorite in the Fan Hanover. Charleston is the 6. Tim Tetrick driving for trainer Brett Pelling. Flew from 7th to 3rd last week, came home in a blistering 25-3. That's really impressive in her second start of the season. So her race lines may not look super impressive, and she may get let go at a decent price and could be worth a play, especially at 10-1 or greater as they're seeing in the morning line. One Last Wish at the 7 with local driver Paul McDonnell. 5th in her elimination, snuck into the final. 3rd in the entire Sire Stakes Gold, two back. Came home in 26-3 last week. Also sharp, but we'll need to do more to beat these this week, I think. Beach Cowgirl for trainer Jen Bongiorno, driver Joe Bongiorno is the 8. Finished second last week in 27-1. Got beat on the lead by Sylvia Hanover, but won her seasonal debut in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes. Number 9 is Cultured for Scott Zero trainer Linda Toscano, another with a couple pretty good shots in today. 2nd in her elimination to Twin B Joe Fresh, and came home in 26-3. So that, again, a lot of horses with fast final quarters. Then it's Vivian Stream rounding out the field from post 10. It's Dave Miller, the Buckeye, driving, fresh off a milestone for him, and it'll be the 10 hole for Vivian Stream. So that's a bit that's tough to overcome. But Trey, tell me what you think. We have the two favorites and two of the better horses coming into this win their eliminations. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the two favorites, Sylvia Hanover and Twins B Joe Fresh, to kick off. If I was doing an exactor in my top two, it's pretty straightforward. You know, the 149 win in the elimination for Twin B Joe Fresh, and same with Sylvia Hanover, 149 and 2 win in that elimination. But the third play is kind of my big ticket here, is who's going to come in to finish the triactor. And I'm going to go with the 8, Beach Cowgirl, coming in. I like her lines. You know, the only time she's really had anything other than a win was the last time out in the elimination, and her worst finish since then was a third in a qualifier, and who really cares about where that is? So you know, has one in Philadelphia, one in Meadowlands, one back in Philadelphia, and now here, you know, trying to get a win here in the Mohawk. At Mohawk, I really think Beach Cowgirl is the one to watch here with those two favorites. Is there something else you see?
No, I mean, I got to go with Sylvia Hanover, the local filly. She's been really good this year, won twice. Good tightener to start her season. Came home in 26th on May 27th. They came back 2 weeks later to win her Fan Hanover elimination. Post 5, one of the best here, Mohawk, and Bob McClure has been pretty good as of late. Had a bit of a slow start to the season, but he's really come around, and he's winning quite regularly here at Mohawk. So I'm going to go with Sylvia Hanover. Also going to go with some coughing. Twin B Joe Fresh, of course, my second pick. These two look definitely the best here. I think I might go with Lions Better Day for a bit of a long shot for third. The rail is not the winningest post in Mohawk, but it does ensure you're going to get a seat at the pylons, and you can do what you want with it. And Louis Philippe Bois, of course, a very capable driver. He has his pick. He could try to tuck into third or drop her back and try to get a helmet. So I think Lions Better Day, especially coming off that gold win on June 2nd, she's a really good filly, and the fourth in the elimination is not super concerning to me. I think she's got a pretty good shot of rounding out that try.
I like it. If we switch over one more time, now we're to the real reason why we're all here, the $1 million 40th running of the Pepsi North America Cup. Cup final for 3-year-olds. Here is the field, starting from the inside. Moment is here. The 2, It's My Show. 3, Christchurch with Todd McCarthy. The 4, Fulton gets Dexter Dunn in the bike. 5, Confederate with Tim Tetrick. That horse has a couple wins in a row too. 6, we got Bucophalis, Steve Wolf's pick we saw in the chat. 7, Lions Surfing. 8, Redwood Hanover. 9, Save America. And 10, Ammo. Saw some people really liking Save America on Twitter today. A couple people from out west were thinking that could be the long shot play. I'll let you go. Who do you like in this one?
I think this is a race where, you know, you can make a case for pretty much any of these horses. I mean, even Save America, as we said, 15-1 on the morning line, but he raced in 48-1 two back and was second in 48-2 in his elimination. So that horse is the second longest shot on the morning line. So I mean, this is a really wide open NA Cup, and it's probably one of the more exciting ones we've had in a few years. I mean, we had a couple. The one that was won by Fear the Dragon, that we pretty much knew it was going to be one of the 3. So this is a really exciting NA Cup, and one I'm pretty enthusiastic about. I am going to go with Bucophalis. I mean, 5-1 on the morning line. I really don't think you're getting anything close to that, because while he was second in his elimination, I mean, he stumbled on that first turn, and it was a really good mile by him to come back and finish second, beating ahead to Christchurch, who didn't have that disadvantage. So I think, you know, if Bucophalis got things the way he wanted in that elimination, he would have been a winner. And I think coming from post 5 with Tim Tetrick, it really sets up for him here. He could go to the lead. There's probably going to be a lot of action up front, as we typically see in the NA Cup. But if he can maybe find a good trip and not have to take a lot of air, I think it's his race to lose. And even if he does, he's such a strong horse. I think, you know, we saw him in that strong win in the New Jersey Sire Stakes final. So, you know, he's proven that he can do things the tough way. and I'm going to go with Vuka Falls as my top pick. My second pick is going to be It's My Show, 5 for 5 this year, but he gets the 2-hole, which is not the best post here. But again, there's so much action in the NA Cup that those inside posts can become a bit more of an advantage than you would see in the normal condition racing here at Mohawk Park. So 26-2 coming home in his elimination and won by 2 1/4 lengths. A powerhouse in the Pennsylvania Star Stakes so far this season. That's my second pick. It's My Show. And for my third pick, I'm going to go with Confederate. He came home with 25-4-2 back in the 15-1 mile over at the Meadowlands to win and was a winner in his elimination. Reminder, we had 4 eliminations at the NA Cup, so 4 different winners. But I'm going with Confederate. And apologies, Vuka Falls is driven by Jordan Stratton. I misread that. Tim Tetrick is on Confederate from post 5. Vuka Falls has the best post at Mohawk Park, or at least the winningest post 6. Confederate has post 5, which is also very good. Came with 26-3 last week to win his elimination. So again, as I say, a lot of good horses you can pick in here. Fulton, Christchurch, It's My Show. I mean, this list is a who's who. But Trey, I'm gonna let you take a gander here.
We actually have the same top 3, just a little jumbled around. I'm gonna take It's My Show. Hard to go against a perfect 5-0 season. I like what he did in the elimination, 148 flat. You know, one wire to wire. Look, he had the inside rail. And you know what I mean? We're talking about how that post doesn't always benefit. He gets the 2-hole. I don't know if Moment is here on the inside. Probably won't leave. So I can see It's My Show grabbing that front end lead and doing whatever. And Scott Zeron and It's My Show does whatever they want with it. You're right. I really want to go with Vuka Falls. It just, when you see a horse break once, you just always have that a little bit in your head, as we all know. How many times have we seen the favorite break? And
it does happen.
You know, phones get smashed, programs get ripped up.
Yeah.
We lose shirts and we go home, with a lot less money. But I do like Vuka Falls for third, and I am going to take Confederate, 148-4 elimination winner for second. If I do have to throw another one in there, I like Fulton. But is there a longer shot that if you were to, you found $5 on the ground, who are you putting it on?
Oh, I mean, like I said, they've all got a shot, and I think with long odds, it's worth a shot on any of them. But I might go with Redwood Hanover, actually, winner in the Sun Beach somewhere in 49, and that may not sound super impressive, but at Mohawk Park, it wasn't that warm that night either, and he came back and finished in 49 in his elimination, came home in 27-4. Needs to make a little step forward here. Definitely Vuka Falls and that group has the edge over him. But for a long shot play, I think Redwood Hanover has a good shot. And don't forget, James McDonald, Canada's leading driver, did pick him over Moment Is Here in the final, despite coming from post 8. So I think if he gets a helmet to chase, if there's a lot of action, like we've seen in a lot of past NA Cups, I do think Redwood Hanover has a good shot, and it could be worth a play at the long shot. We're gonna take a look at a comment. Mike Janice again coming in. Timmy T for the win. So we got to pick there for Confederate. Timmy T, of course, as we know, great driver, and yeah, he can certainly get it done in here.
Yeah, if I had to go with a long shot, I would go with the 9, Save America. You get Yannick, and 148-2 in a second, 148-1 before that. The times are there. And like I said, just something, yes, coming from the outside, but just something about how I saw that horse pace last time. Finished 26-1, which is tied for the fastest closing quarter last week, according to this program anyway. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. But I think if it gets in a good spot, again, if it's a horse that leaves and gets to the front and you're able to finish in 26-1 here, really hard to keep up with you, right? So yeah, that's all the main 5 days. So, we got 13 races. Post time is 20 minutes if it's on time. We all know about post time drag, but that's okay. It happens to the best of us.
And also, I do want to revisit the Vuka Falls incident on the first turn. We did speak to Michael Russo for Harness Link, and he did say he's 100% for the NA Cup. So I did want to mention that. It is worth noting. And Vuka Falls, of course, very good horse. So assuming that is fixed, I think it is worth noting the break last week, but it's also worth noting the trainer has come and said that issue will not be a concern this week.
100%. And like I said, I had no doubt the horse can't not win this race. I'm just a superstitious guy, and I just don't like betting on a horse that broke. It's just when you see those X's in the program, again, maybe it's my Miami Fair half-mile track mentality where you see a horse break, it's like, okay, it's not really going to do much. But yeah, all 10 could easily win this. Even the AE that scratched probably could have had a good shot. We all know
For
what
sure.
AEs can do if you watch Kentucky Derby and other big-time races, right? So
yeah, and one of probably the North America Cup favorite heading into this season, Stockade Sealster, didn't make the final. He finished third and was the unlucky one to not draw in. Very sad there for the locals because he would have been certainly our best shot, and I know he wouldn't have been the longest shot on the board if he made it into the final. Just pretty unlucky that we had the most eliminations since 2009 for him. But yeah, again, very stacked field. But Trey, those are the major stakes today. But I'm going to ask you. Well, I don't think you've been here in a very, very long time. So, what's it like coming to visit Woodbine Mohawk Park?
You know, between this and Woodbine yesterday, unreal. These are real racetracks. Like, I'm used to, like I said, Miami Fair, which beautiful scenery, beautiful out in the middle of Manitoba, but nothing, or Assiniboia Downs, nothing like these two tracks. Beautiful food. It's been amazing food. I was at the Trackside Grill on Thursday. Amazing food. Everyone's been so nice. I wasn't too happy. The customer service wouldn't give me a hat early, but I understand. Well, I got it today.
Got it now.
I got it today, so we're good. But beautiful thing, you know, they say friendly Manitoba, but I think all the great people here at Mohawk would have to be number 2. I said Mohawk, not Ontario.
But okay. Well, I'm at Mohawk, so
right now I'll
take it.
I mean, driving on the 400, Matt, I don't know how you guys do it. The 400, 401. My uncle, I've been saying with my uncle, he's just cutting in out of traffic like he's a NASCAR, like Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'm used to the perimeter highway. If you ever come to Winnipeg, the perimeter highway is nothing compared to your guys' 400.
It's a little bit different.
400, 401, but it's a great time. Yeah, I've had a blast here. You know, like I said, if anyone around here wants to say hi, we'll always sign autographs, won't we?
Of course.
Unless if I'm on the casino side, and don't talk to me because I'm probably on a heater. But if I'm on the track side, you can always talk to me.
Oh yeah. Well, our boy Trey is repping the Harness Link blue. Of course, we're not going to look at that logo there. But anyways, best bet of the night.
I'm gonna go with Codename Cigar Box. I'm gonna take it the 7-2. I gotta go with the Cullens from Glenboro, Manitoba. Now living out here, I have to. It's my thing. You know, if I don't pick a Manitoba connection of some sort, I lose my title. I lose my title as Mr. Manitoba.
Of course.
But a horse, you know, I want to say a horse. Not too much lately, but was a horse that did pretty good. And again, a 149-2. We're talking about all the times of the horses in the NA Cup. Some of these horses in the preferred could easily keep up with it. Those horses, right? I mean, I know they're older, but this NA Cup or the preferred even looks like a good race.
You know, for my not necessarily best bet, but I think a good value play is Tattoo Artist. 5-1, and he's in a good field, but he is getting into form nowadays, and he is a big race horse, if that is such a thing. But he does, we know, have a propensity to win these big races, and he's always a threat in here. So if you can get similar price to 5-1, 7-2, 6-1. Very good play in my opinion. So Tattoo Artist is going to be my top play of the night.
And a lot of betting options. 3 pick 5s.
Yeah. Yep.
We got the
all stakes pick 5.
All stakes pick 5 in there. We got the late pick 5 starting race 9, I guess. My math is right. We got the jackpot high 5 in a 12 horse field.
Yeah.
In the 13th there. There's no also eligibles there. All in as of now, right?
Yep.
So hard thing to do. Got win, place, show, exactor, triactor, super. I know you don't like this. We got the swinger. We got the new swinger, which those pools have been interesting. But yeah, we're getting close. 15 minutes to post. Maybe we should let the folks go so they can get one last look at the program.
All right. Well, last thing, we're going to plug what we're doing on Harness Link tonight. I've got the live coverage, so we'll be posting race replays right after it happens. That's important, I assume, for a lot of fans because the live stream is actually cutting off before the NA Cup to stream on TSN. So good thing for the industry that we're getting that national attention. Maybe not the best for some fans who don't have cable TV subscriptions, but we will have all race replays on Harness Link right after the races end, and I'll be writing race recaps of the major stakes races throughout the night. That's all on Harness Link. Click on the front page, harnesslink.com. You're going to see it. Trey, I'm sure, will be tweeting throughout the night. He's a social media hound, and you also get some live tweeting from Garnet Barnsdale, my dad, on Twitter, and probably on the official Harness Link account. So that's your news for tonight, and we'll just take a look outside. It's pretty warm. Pretty warm today. Beautiful day outside, just the way you'd want it. Now, Mohawk does get a lot colder as the night goes on, unfortunately. So maybe not the best for some record performances in the NA Cup, but we'll take a look. Not too much wind outside either, so I don't think we'll see a track bias in that sort of sense. But anyways, we're going to let you get out of here. This has been Harness News Live. And Trey, you know what? Why don't you send him off, because you're the guy who does it every time.
Yeah, on behalf of my boy Ace, who's actually on the other side of the keyboard for another time here.
Yeah.
Everyone at Harness Link and Harness News Live, I'm Trey Kolbeck. We'll see you Wednesday at 2 Eastern, right? That's our time. Yeah,
That's right.
These time zones get me messed up. 2 Eastern on Wednesday. Again, Twitter, Facebook Live, and our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like. Thank you for, I think this was some of our most live views we've ever had.
Definitely.
On it. Love the comments. Love it. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.